G'day everyone and welcome to another Talktober Friday session. Well, not another one. This is actually our very first one for this year. Happy Talktober, everyone. I hope it's working really well for you for the next 30 odd days of October. We're going to be making a call every day to a mate, checking in on how they're feeling and telling them how you're feeling as well. Good dialogue, good conversation and conscious conversation as well. And that's a little bit of a segue, I suppose, as we welcome from Conscious Conversation, Maritza, who's got a very important interview for us today. G'day, Maritza.
Hi, Tony. Thank you so much for having us. We are so pleased at Conscious Conversations to be partnering with you at the Male Hug again, and we are obviously very supportive of everything that you do there. We are obviously loving conversations, deep, meaningful conversations, so it makes a perfect partnership.
Yeah, it certainly does. There's no doubt about that. And today we're going to kick off our Friday sessions for the month of October with the CEO and the founder of the Male Hug, the guy that put this whole idea together. And of course, that is Tony Rabah. G'day to you, Tony.
G'day, Tony. How you going?
We're excellent, thank you, mate. We're into Talktober again, second time for the Male Hug. Of course, we started Talktober last year. We are so looking forward to this one.
Mate, absolutely. Year two, I still have memories of you walking into my office and we started talking. I think you actually came up with a Talktober initiative and I remember the day that we registered Talktober and we kicked things off and here we are, year two. It's incredibly exciting. So, yeah, pumped for another Talktober.
Well, what a perfect person to talk to for our first Friday sessions, Tony. Obviously, you are the founder of the Male Hug, and I'd love to share with everyone what inspired you to start this organisation. There must have been some pivotal and key moments in there.
Yeah, there had been. I think one of the first memories was obviously the GFC that came along in 2008, and a lot of the pain that I was going through at the time, but during that period, I'd had a break from accounting and I was in the hospitality business. And but as I've said, my boardroom's always been that safe space for clients in my accounting practice to unpack and talk about matters beyond their financial affairs. So we obviously the Male Hug was something I'd wanted to do for quite a while, but August 2019, it was basically to get accountants talking. We go through a lot of stuff. A lot of business owners go through a lot of stuff, and it was really just what I had seen. A lot of men just don't talk. I was one of those, but when I reached out and started talking about my issues, then things certainly started to look a little bit more brighter.
So who has helped you through the ups and downs of life? I mean, talking for us women, it's just such a natural thing to do. We're talkers, we're natural speakers and communicators. And I think for men, and you touched on, you weren't always like that. So for you, who sort of pulled you through those ups and downs and those tough times that you've endured?
Well, back in, I guess, the 2009, the sort of year, I'd lost my father, and on the back of a very messy business situation on the back of the GFC, and my mother and grandmother were really, really supportive, and my sisters and my brother, and it was just a family that I'd opened up to, and a couple of mates that I started to talk to after the embarrassment had gone, and not long after that, I'd met my wife, Mariana, and she has been incredibly supportive. We talk about most things, and I think that part of the collaboration with you guys at Conscious Conversations, I think if more men spoke to their wives or partners, I think life would take would be much smoother. And so my wife has been a great support of mine through the process, and that, you know, when you bring things home and you can talk about it without fear of whatever, then that makes life a lot easier to deal with.
I think dropping that shield, that initial step to dropping that barrier that we put up to protect ourselves, or that manliness about ourselves, is the first step to opening up. Was that the case for you? Is, just making that first move to being more vulnerable in your conversations?
Yeah, absolutely. I when you've been I guess you see yourself as a bit of a winner in life and business, and you've always achieved things. But to go through a situation that was incredibly, well, probably traumatic is probably the right word, in that you don't know what's coming. I mean, there's a lot of business owners today that are struggling and they don't know who to turn to. But I know for myself, there were many times where I would just, be completely nothing, lost, almost destroyed. But the minute I started to open up and talk to those around me that I could trust, I guess men really struggle with that concept because they perceive that, that communication is going to be taken in the wrong light and used against them. So, and they don't want to show that sign of weakness or that they don't have all the answers. But I think it's incredibly important to just talk to someone, let it out, otherwise that pressure cooker will completely explode. And yeah, talking, what we're trying to do at the Male Hug is just get men to talk. Very simple, a very simple approach, but we know that it works. The experts have told us that it works. And but yeah, it's just getting men to take that first step is our mission. And I think once men start to talk, we'll create better men in the process.
Oh, absolutely. Well, in the spirit of that, I need to ask you a question for today. And, we do ask people, how are you? And automatically our response is, yeah, I'm great, I'm excellent, or everything's fine. Yeah. When really what's harboring deep inside is a lot different to what we portray. So how are you today, Tony, really?
Well, we were just talking off air. I mean, I'm always positive about life, but I think with the state of play in the world at the moment, yeah, bit confused, bit, overwhelmed with you get very, varying degrees of information we get fed through the media and governments, and when are we going to open, and when are we not going to open, and there's a lot of confusion. And I guess it'd be very, very normal to feel incredibly flat. You have good days, you have, really crappy days, but yeah, I think we just want a roadmap out. And we set off air, there was no words. And I think sometimes you feel like there's just nothing. You go for a walk, I try to get to the office, do a little bit of work, but productivity levels are not there. So we just want to see life come back to normal. The CBD is incredibly quiet at the moment, and that creates a lot of negative stuff in your mind when you drive into the city and you see a lot of, everyone's closed pretty much. And it's sad. It's really sad. We just want a way out of this.
I think Talktober, Tony's come at a perfect time for how the mindset is of the community at the moment and the collective. We need to open up and talk to each other about these frustrations and these feelings of lack of control, like you've just touched on. So if anyone's feeling like that, like you are, like I am, and I'm sure Tony Shebeki over there as well is feeling the frustration, what is your advice to us? What are some tips that where we can use the Male Hug platform to utilize this time to talk to one another?
Well, Talktober is something we're very proud of because we're encouraging men to talk. We're encouraging men to take that first step to connect and, reach out and connect with somebody, each day for the month of October. If it's not a different person, it could be the same person every day, but, get talking. Connect with people, reconnect with people, share what's going on. And I know that I've sat in with various experts in the mental health profession. I mean, we're non-clinicians, but we're very passionate about this cause, and we've had some life experiences. But I've sat in with people like Professor Pat McGorry, who's endorsed what we're doing and has virtually said if more men started talking, then his life would be amazing. So it's really, we're encouraging people to take the Talktober challenge, sign up, get involved, and feel so much better, along the way and moving forward. Hopefully it becomes a normal thing that they do in their lives beyond Talktober.
There you go, guys. Get talking. Thank you, Tony, for even starting this organization. You've changed so many lives already, and it's come, it's grown so much in the last 12 months. So I can't wait to see where the Male Hug goes in another 12 months from now.
Thank you, Maritza. And yeah, we've got some exciting things as we move forward. So keep following and supporting the Male Hug and get talking.
Well, there you go. Tony Rabah joins us. Of course, he is the founder and CEO of the Male Hug. Talktober is what it's all about. Head to themalehug.com.au and join us and take part in Talktober, calling a mate every day. Maritza, thank you for our first Friday session, and we look forward to the rest of October, and we've got some great names coming up as well.